Amnesty International says police use excessive force to quash #EndBadGovernance protests. Lagos shuts churches, hotels, others over noise pollution. Niger residents blame reckless truck drivers for frequent road crashes. And the foreign scene, US, Britain and others condemn escalating violence in Mozambique. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's News Updates. I am Chiamaka Rafo. Thank you for joining us. Human rights body Amnesty International has accused police authorities in Nigeria of using excessive force against demonstrators during the #EndBadGovernance protest. The protest took place between August 1 to 10 across the country following the harsh economic conditions in Nigeria. Months after the protest, Amnesty International claimed the police's use of force during the demonstrations led to the death of some persons. It claimed those killed included 20 young people, an older person and 2 children, adding that in all cases the victims were shot by the police, firing live ammunition at close range, often at the head or torso, suggesting that officers were shooting to kill. The body urges the Nigerian authorities to hold the police and other security agencies to account for unleashing deadly force on people who did not constitute an imminent threat to lives. The Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency has shut several establishments, including churches, hotels, bars and other businesses, for failing to comply with the state's environmental laws. The operation, which covered areas such as Moshi, Amodofi and Okota Isolo, was part of ongoing efforts to address noise pollution and other environmental violations across Lagos. This was made known in a statement shared on LASEPA's verified X handle on Thursday. According to LASEPA, the establishments were shut down for failing to comply with environmental standards despite prior notices from the agency. The general manager of LASEPA, Babatunde Ajayi, reiterated the agency's zero-tolerance policy for violations that threaten public health and community harmony. Ajayi also urged Lagos residents to report environmental violations through LASEPA's official channels, emphasizing the need for collective action to protect the environment. The studio section of Radio Nigeria at Plot 35 Ikoyi Road, Lagos, was on Wednesday night gutted by fire. The Lagos State Fire Service Director, Margaret Adesheye, confirmed the development in a statement on the agency's X handle. She said a combined team of the Federal Fire Service and the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service were able to put out the fire. She further stated that the cause of the fire is yet unknown.
This is where we see the need for fire hydrants in places like this. This is a federal establishment. We've had 4 fire tankers, 2 from the Lagos State government, 2 from federal government, expelled all their waters. We've had 3 water tankers, yet the flame rages on. The Mecca of broadcasting in Nigeria still.
Residents of Agaye in Agaye local government areas of Niger State have decried the incessant accidents involving heavy-duty vehicles due to overspeeding since the construction of Lambata to Agaye Road in Niger State. The crashes, according to residents, happen almost on a daily basis, leaving many worried about the ever-increasing incidents occasioned by truck drivers' recklessness. Here's the report.
Residents said domestic animals are not also left of the tragic incident that happen almost every day. They said while the road that has been in a deplorable state for years has started to wear a new look with the ongoing construction work, overspeeding among heavy-duty drivers is something that needs to be checked, especially when approaching towns and communities along the ever-busy road. One of the victims of the incident in Agaye, Ndea Margin, lost one of his legs and right eye after he was knocked down by a trailer. Margin, a veterinary officer, Would the State Minister of Agriculture struggle to hold back tears as he recalls his experience, saying that his life has never been the same since the incident.
I was trying to go to one head where I'm going to do injection of animal around 4:30. So I was trying to go home to go and change my uniform to wear the uniform I used to wear to where I'm going to do my job. So what happened when I was coming? There's a trailer at the back of me, which I know is there, and I am there. I have just seen myself at that front of that picture. As I fall down, I just see myself on the front of the TT, match my machine, match my leg. I have no any objection that time. They smashed my leg broken completely. In fact, immediately I come back from IDB, I retire from service. My call now to government and state government, please, they should help, because for me personally, I know what happened to me. It happened to so many people. And now, as I'm talking to you presently now, before I come back, I meet some people that this thing happened to them, they have died. Presently, they have died. And federal government doesn't do anything about it. So presently now, the tie has been done. So the speech over speech from step down, NEPA step down, up to Jendo here is too much. So I'm begging government, I'm begging state government or federal government, because local government are not able to do it. So I'm begging federal government to come to our head in Agay to help us with this bomb.
The Secretary, National Union of Road Transport Workers (NURTW), Mahmoud Agay, stressed the need to check the unruly behavior of heavy-duty vehicles on the road.
We always talk to those driver people when they arrive, even though it's little village or 1 or 2, 10 people have been there. We have what we are called speed limit. Like example 1, when you are a speed, maybe you are driving from various places, very where there's not any village around. If your speed should be around 120 or 100, immediately that you get in another village or town, should be back to 60 to 50. Why not? Because of some people, they have not even know they have crossed the road. But when you have speed limit, things may come to you, maybe inshallah you may be okay. Or even though God has write that, because anything that God has write in destiny, it must get to you. But you will be carelessness about the life of the people.
Data from the Social Welfare Department of Agay local government showed that 85 people have died from the accident involving heavy-duty vehicles between April and November this year. Residents are therefore calling on the Federal Minister of Works and state government to construct speed breakers to check the overspeeding among the heavy-duty vehicle drivers, or construct a bypass to divert the traffic of such vehicles out of the town. Abubakar Akote, Trust TV News, Mina.
River State Governor Sim Fubara has commenced payment of 85,000 naira new minimum wage to workers in the state. This was disclosed by Chukwuma Osuna, chairman of the Nigerian Civil Service Union River State chapter. He said the payment, which began with November salaries, has been widely celebrated by civil servants in the state. Recall that Fubara had announced the wage increase in response to President Bola Tinubu's approval of a 70,000 naira national minimum wage in July. He had pledged a higher wage for Rivers workers, citing the state's robust internally generated revenue as a sustainable source for the increase. Still on the minimum wage, over in Jigawa State, the government has announced the implementation of the national minimum wage of 70,000 naira effective December, following successful negotiations with labor leaders. Governor Umar Namadi made the announcement during the signing ceremony of the new wage law at the Government House in Duse. Here's a report.
In his remarks, Governor Namadi emphasized that the total benefits received by Jigawa workers, including additional perks and allowances, effectively raised their earnings to 80,000 naira. He commended the cordial relationship between the state government and the organized labor, urging workers to remain dedicated to their duties in appreciation of the gesture.
It's only in Jigawa State the civil servant has a subsidized shop where they can go and buy essential commodity at a subsidized price and on credit. It is only in Jigawa State that civil servants have access to money where they can borrow and go and farm throughout the year. I'm sure it is only in Jigawa State the 70,000 minimum wage is well protected. Because with the farmers, with the workers going to the farm and with the credit from the state government, they can be able to grow what they can eat year round, all the year round.
The chairman of the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) in Jigawa State, Sanusi Al-Hassan, expressed delight over the new development. He noted that workers were thrilled with the initiative and looked forward to receiving their enhanced salaries at the end of December.
On behalf of organized labor and the civil servant of Jigawa State, I want to thank His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Jigawa State, Comrade Malam Umar Namadi, FCA, for the approval of the 70,000 new minimum wage and the consequential adjustment for the workers in the state. And also commend the state governor in this area, like employment of over 7,000 civil servants in the state, injecting of over 5.4 billion naira to contributory pension scheme for the sustainability.
The organized labor also appreciated the government's commitment to improving workers' welfare and called on employees to reciprocate the gesture by demonstrating diligence and loyalty in their service to the state. The event was marked by solidarity songs from the labor union, symbolizing unity and a shared commitment to progress.
The need for a social reorientation that will ensure the erosion of value systems that has contributed to the decline in the nation's moral character and increased anti-social behavior has again been advocated for. In Lagos State, residents are calling on the government to educate Nigerian parents on constant relearning and understanding of moral values to bring the country back to its days of high moral standards. Victoria Chokolo's report is presented from our studio. Achieving a society that is free from all forms of corruption, indiscipline, and antisocial behavior requires a multifaceted approach that parents, community leaders, and governments at all levels must be part of. For many, parents need to recognize and understand they are key partners in shaping the society. Beyond parents, community leaders also have a sanitization role to play that will help monitor the behavioral patterns of members of such communities.
Say to you this evening that one of the ways by which we can correct all of these anomalies is for the government to recognize the role of traditional rulers in this country. Give them specific roles. Put it in the government document. We are the nearest ruler to the people. Let them see us as a constitutionally recognized leaders, so that before matter gets out of hand, we would have done something.
National orientation can do something, whether to collect all the children, put them for somewhere where they will learn how to do handwork. Because some of them go to school, And most of them are from big family. Yes, they are from big family. If government agree to, there's somewhere for them to learn work or to do this on that. If they are busy, whether they will stop all this nonsense, because it's getting more every day. No reducing, it's getting more every day.
Other members of the public also emphasized the need for parents, both young and old, to impart values on children, while the government should implement laws that will guide all forms of behavioral flaws.
I think that parents need to submit themselves to constantly learning and also constant development so that they can impact the next generation through their children, because the children that we see today will grow up to be parents tomorrow. So if we are building a situation, if we are not building the right thing as their children now, we'll raise a society that will be full of decadence and moral wrong.
Another thing, if you all our youth, anywhere you see them, there's no part of this country you see under 15, 20, 21, 22. Early in the morning, they will gather themselves and start drinking all manner of drugs. There is supposed to be a law that will back up the police or any agency that will be getting them arrested, take them to a place, test them. Anyone found wanting should be dealt with.
While everyone has a role to play in the quest to restore moral values, it is imperative for all to understand what constitutes acceptable behavior, hence the need for the right orientation from the government. You're still on to news updates on Trust TV. Up ahead. Kano Trade Fair showcases investment opportunities for non-oil sector. There's some more stories when we return. Please do stay with us. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Now a recap of our top stories. We told you that Amnesty International says police use excessive force to quash #EndBadGovernance protests. We also informed you that Lagos shuts churches, hotels, others over noise pollution. Now, the federal government has confirmed that it spent 8.8 billion naira for the repair and restoration of transmission towers that were vandalized across various regions of the country in 2024. The managing director and chief executive officer of the Transition Company of Nigeria, Ahmed Abdulaziz, revealed this at the quarterly Power Sector Working Group meeting in Abuja. The special advisor to the Minister of Power on Strategic Communication and Media Relations, Bolaji Tunji, in a statement signed on Wednesday, said the government is yet to achieve prosecution of arrested vandals, as they're usually released on bail by the Nigerian police. Abdulaziz, who was represented by the Executive Director, TCN, Transmission Service Provider, Olugbenga Ajiboye, revealed that 128 transmission towers have been destroyed, either by vandals or bandits across the country between January and November 2024. He further lamented that apprehended perpetrators are being granted bail, enabling them to return to their illegal activities and wreaking havoc on vital transmission infrastructure in the country. He further explained that when the vandals were apprehended and handed over to police for prosecution, they were bailed based on theft and not vandalism. Residents of Wuroshie Gombe Metropolitan Community have expressed dissatisfaction with the Just Electricity Distribution Company over its failure to repair the faulty transformer in the community despite the contributing money to fund the repairs. According to residents, the development has made life more difficult as the power blackout has negatively impacted daily living. Hassan Kohli reports.
This is the transformer stand that once powered Wuroshie, a community home to hundreds of residents. For months, it has remained non-functional, plunging the area into darkness. What has angered the community most is that they raised funds and handed over to the Just Electricity Distribution Company, JADE, for its repair. Yet, nothing has been done.
So a lokacin ranmu ya ɓaci mun yi ta maganganu wanda
when our transformer malfunctioned and we complained to the jet office. They complained of limited resources and advised that we should wait. Realizing we may have to wait longer than necessary, we decided to contribute 400,000 naira amongst ourselves because we could not wait for jet anymore. But after giving them the money, they just kept delaying and making excuses. This is 6 months now, yet we don't have light. Right now, we don't have access to cold drinks as well as water from boreholes, and our businesses are collapsing, while phone snatches has surged due to dark streets.
Mun iyakacin kokarinmu ganin cewa transformer mu ta dawo.
We have exhausted all avenues to restore light to our community because we have filed numerous complaints and contributed money, but JET is still unable to fix the transformer. So we are urging anybody capable of intervening to help us resolve this issue. The community claims it paid almost 400,000 naira to JET months ago, hoping the repair will bring relief. However, they say they are still in dark as the transformer is yet to be fixed. My business depends on electricity to stay afloat. I have lost so much because I can't store anything. In fact, I stopped selling soft drinks. We are urging JET and other concerned stakeholders to resolve the issue, please. According to sources within the Just Electricity Distribution Company, the company only connects vendors, saying that communities who decide to fund repairs or purchases should do so through official channels, as there are many transformers awaiting repairs. The source also confirmed that electricity at Uroshi community will be restored as soon as transformer oil arrive from the company's headquarters. Frustrated but determined, the people of Uroshi are demanding immediate action, saying they will continue to voice out their plight. From Gombe, Hassan Kohli reporting for Trust TV.
2024 14-day Kano International Trade Fair is in full swing as the 35th edition of the fair entered its 5th day. This year's theme, Non-Oil Export for Economic Prosperity, is drawing attention to the immense potential of diversifying Nigeria's economy. Abdulaziz Ibrahim visited the trade fair and filed this report.
The fair is organized by the Kano Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture. At the bustling trade fair, businesses showcased innovative ways of transforming Nigeria's abundant natural resources into exportable finished products.
We are the major indigenous producer of this salt lake, and even now we have trade requests from Nigeria Republic, which we are processing, and our product has reached also charge.
Among the exhibitors is Zuwaira, an entrepreneur running an organic shop making use of entirely locally sourced plants like spices, baobab, neem and others.
Like shea butter is one of the prominent ones that have been used in so many parts of the world. Shea butter is a product that we underrate here in Africa, but little do we know that it has so many benefits to our skin and our hair. And the foreign people have been coming to buy it and reproduce it into another different product and bringing it back to sell to us. And those products are quite expensive.
Zuwaira's sentiments reflect a common concern among local businesses that there is a need for local producers to harness these raw materials for lucrative non-oil exportable products. Meanwhile, at the Nigeria Export Promotion Council Pavilion, entrepreneurs were put through unnecessary documentation and registration for engaging in exports in Nigeria. For these spices that we sell, we believe that if we had the right infrastructure and policies, we could process a large amount so that we can both meet local demand and even compete internationally. My business is about processing traditional foods, but we are ready to expand. But infrastructure is always a big problem. Better roads, reliable power, and then maybe the government can try to make exporting easier for us so that we can grow and contribute to the economy. The 35th Kano International Trade Fair not only portrays the untapped potentials in Nigeria's non-oil sector, but is also a reminder of the critical role of policy in driving economic diversification. Abdelaziz Ibrahim, Trust TV News.
The Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) has mandated all licensed telecommunications operators to update their contact details by January 9, 2025 in compliance with the licensing regulations of 2019. This directive aligns with the NCC's efforts to enhance regulatory processes, improve industry oversight, and strengthen Nigeria's telecommunications sector. The Commission cautioned that non-compliance could attract penalties such as fines, license suspension, or revocation. While specific sanctions were not outlined, the NCC underscored the critical role accurate contact information plays in fostering industry responsiveness and engagement. Ruben Moka, the NCC's Director of Public Affairs, stated that operators must report changes to their contact details within 7 days and submit updates to the Commission's services platform at eservices.ncc.gov.ng. The governments of the United States, Britain, Canada, Norway, and Switzerland on Wednesday jointly condemned the escalating violence against civilians in Mozambique, a southern African nation currently embroiled in weeks of post-election protests. Public outrage has surged after last month's disputed election results, which sparked protests from opposition supporters. The opposition is contesting what they say is a fraudulent victory by Frelimo, the party that has governed Mozambique since 1975. The election results saw Frelimo extend its 5-decade rule, with its candidate Daniel Chapo succeeding President Filipe Nyusi to become Mozambique's 5th president since its independence from Portugal. In response to the incident, Mozambique's army released a statement expressing deep regret over the accident, saying that the vehicle that was part of a properly marked convoy accidentally ran over a citizen. The embassies of the 5 countries have called for an investigation into the incident. That concludes news updates at this time. For more of our news, programs and documentaries, do to follow us on our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. Thank you for joining us at this time. Good afternoon.